Newsflash is brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise. Still, fun papa fee. Newsflash is brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise. Still, fun papa fee.
Hello there, welcome back here on the show. This is Prime Morning and it's time for News Flash, proudly brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise, Phone Papa Fie, and we're letting you know that it's the leading electronic retail shop in the country right now, and it's guaranteed quality, and so you might want to just go grab something from there. If you're looking forward to changing your phones, you can get a Nokia phone, you can get Samsung, you can get iPhone, and some accessories that you want, you can grab them once you make your way there, and trust me, you will definitely not regret. And we're telling you that Franco Trading Enterprise is also available, in other branches in the country. So all you need to do is to just make sure that you walk into any of our branches and you will be good. And if you're also, looking forward to interacting with us, you can definitely give us a call, 0559-939311, 0555-939311 is the number you can always call us on. Don't forget that we've got CCTV cameras that we're giving to you as well. You can make sure that you monitor your homes and your offices when you're not there. You can still be able to see what's going on your phone. It's pretty simple. Anywhere, anytime, you can do so. And that's Franco Trading Enterprise and what we give you. Those of us who are looking forward to replacing our refrigerators as well, it's the best place that you can go and get that. Franco Trading Enterprise says, still phone Papa Path. Our website is www.francotrading.com, and you can also get us on the app. It's Google Play, App Store. You can just download Franco Trading app and you're good to go. You have Franco in your hands, and that's what we want you to do, okay? It's just pretty simple. All right, Franco Trading Enterprise says, still phone Papa Fie. And this morning, we've told you exactly what we'll be getting into here on the show. We'll get on the front page of the newspapers to take a look at what has been reported, and then we'll come into our major issues. NHIA is looking forward to rolling out what they call the scheme to focus on communicable diseases, non-communicable diseases. And you remember that on this show, we've been dealing, the whole of last month, we've been dealing with some non-communicable diseases. We've talked about most of them. They put an emphasis on a couple of them, which includes diabetes. We'll take a look at that this morning. Now, Majority Leader has reassigned Kwaku Kwateng from the Finance Committee to Economic Committee. Now, we'll take a look at that as well in a bit later. The vandals of the University of Ghana, Legon, are appealing to the judiciary with regards to some of the things that they've gone through over the period in terms of how unfair they state that some of their cases have been attended to. And so we'll take a look at that also as well. They called that one the March for Justice. It happened on Saturday. But in the meantime, let me just get to the front pages of the newspapers, introduce my guest, and then we get to go. Now, free SHS bill goes to Cabinet, seeks cancellation of BECE for SHS admissions, SHS to be 6 years, and that's the Daily Graphic this morning reporting on the free SHS. It's got Dr. Yao Say captured on the front page. Now, on some other issues, it says, the courageous firm in face of challenges or changing it to journalists, and SNIT, Rock City negotiations stall. Director General says so. At the back page, it says, G's EU support Labour Ministry, and Sedan Land Bank donates beds to 37 military hospitals. That's the Daily Graphic for today. Away from that, the Ghanaian Times is here, and it says, ambulance case, Japa, I didn't record a 26-minute conversation with the AG. MP3 has got a story on that. You can read about it. Away from that, VIP task BOG to create regulatory environment for digital tech sector. Government has duty to regulate cement prices, says a trade minister. And Mahama holds discussions with Korean ambassador. That's also captured on the front page of the Ghanaian Times. And that will be the Ghanaian Times for today. We move on to Daily Guide, and Daily Guide says that Blaze sues Ablakwa for 2 million Ghana cedis. P3's got a story on that. NPP MPs embrace Napo as running mates, and also IGP leaked tape. COP Mensa, 2 others cited for misconduct. And Dampare is still in office, says the police service. And I'm sure you probably also might have, be wondering whether he's there or he's taking a leave or something, because most times we see him almost everywhere. I'm sure that most people out there will be questioning that as well. But, the police service says that he's still in office. Now, GCB Bank posted a remarkable 2023 performance, and that's the Daily Guide front page for today. Away from that, Haja for Real gets 1-year prison sentence, and Burna Boy equals Wizkid's 1 billion streams. Samini thrills at Ghana Football Awards. That happened over the weekend as well. Incredible things. We're going to be giving you some update on that here on the show. The custodian says that SNIT DG 6 franc discussions on pension reforms and exclusive. They say NDC predicted Bawumia Napo ticket in 2023, and Cyprus president supports Ayoko Boche's Commonwealth vision, and Information Minister presents RTI report to Parliament. $360 million IMF cash hits BOG account today. That's the custodian this morning. The new finder says that GCB Bank lays the foundation for sustainable future, and BOG to receive $360 million today to bring total IMF disbursement to $1.56 billion. Now, police service refutes claims of IGP's removal, and the minister outlines key challenges facing RTI implementation. Council of State condoles with family of late Bianca, the CEO. Now, that's the new finder this morning. The Economy Times says some commercial banks are raising their Forex account charges, but others retain the old charges demanded from their Forex account holders. And cement price regulation, Trade Ministry and manufacturers standoff deepens. Petroleum Hub development in limbo as host community makes demands before project starts. That's the Economic Times this morning. And last, we have the Ghanaian publisher, and it says LEAP beneficiaries to share 103 million Ghana cedis. Senate Hotels sale, we will continue to engage. DG says so. IGP not removed, says the police service, and plot to attack Ochiman Environmental Brigade uncovered. That's also captured by the Ghanaian publisher. MPs applaud Information Minister over presentation of RTI reports. That's the Ghanaian publisher this morning. And so that's the newspapers, the front page and what they're reporting. Once you grab a copy, you'll be able to also read all about it. Don't forget that News Flash is proudly brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise, says phone papa fee. My guests in the studio this morning, I would introduce them quickly and then we'll move on. Now, Bernard Mona, who is sitting next to me, my immediate left, unfortunately didn't want to sit there because he doesn't want sitting next to a man. And he's always excited. Sitting to Rosalind today decided that, well, he will still have to sit, regardless. Bernard, how are you doing? Good morning.
Morning.
Presido.
You look good.
Thank you.
And always booming, even in the morning when economic crisis. And I just noticed that you struggle to get fuel here. And still you are looking so cheerful.
Please speak up for me so they can hear you well.
That despite that your struggle to get fuel for your vehicle to be here, you are still looking charming.
But you're my president. You're supposed to be ensuring that I have fuel.
Let Khaled and then Charles know that the day is coming. So they should prepare themselves for very good positions. That's if they want to be responsible to the citizens of Ghana, because they are privileged to be sitting with the next president of Ghana.
Exactly. And they have the vice also here as well. So.
Just tell my brother that he should start by giving me a chieftaincy title in Sankana. That is where
that's the only thing you want.
If he starts at that level, then
we'll have that discussion.
You see, this man's boss was enskined as queen. Now you want to be enskined as chief. You are competing your boss.
No, I'm not competing. No. I'm trying to make the work easy. for all of that. So that Sankana would be our baby project.
You are here.
Very well. Thank you so much for making time for us this morning. Bernard Morning. Now, also in the studio with me, I have Charles Bisu, NPP parliamentary candidate, Sikado Ketan, looking very, very smart and sharp this morning. Good to see you, Honorable. How are you doing?
Good to see you too.
Everything good? How was the weekend? Was great?
Yeah, all is well. We're plodding along, and I hope you're well too.
I'm very well, thank you. A very, very busy weekend, but it's okay. We're good. Now, Prof is here with us. Prof Sharif Khaleda is joining us this morning, financial analyst, and of course representing the NDCs and economists as well. Prof, good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you too.
Great.
It's a Monday morning again.
You know, and it's a new month.
Yeah, but the issue is they said the IMF tranche has hit the account and it's not reflecting as it used to be the case.
It's early days yet. I mean, it's
no, but the point is, we anticipate. You see, what I always say about the advantages of going to IMF.
Yeah.
Look, it's difficult for a country or sovereign nation to subject itself to an IMF.
Yeah.
So the advantage here is that when you have such a tranche coming in, you have businessmen making anticipation, right, of the effect of such, and trying to expand businesses and having expenditure. But you see, the last tranche or the first two tranches has not been great because, the anticipation, it disrupted the market. Because the anticipation, that farmer that was waiting to expand his poultry farm
didn't feel the
impact because nothing really happened. So this tranche, you would see that not much noise has been made about it. And they don't trust that this is what is going to happen in terms of having an impact on Forex. So it's an economy in disarray.
It looks like we went for the IMF and that.
But I'm looking at. No, I'm actually looking at the custodian.
Yeah.
Have you seen the Minister for Finance?
Yeah.
What I mean?
Yeah. He started wearing white.
Just like Ken did it. Or just like Ken does.
Meeting an IMF chief. Oh, dear. The optics are not great. The optics are not great.
He started wearing white. No, not so good for him.
That's a good observation.
His handlers ought to look at that.
Does it have any impact?
No. It depends on when the picture was taken. I don't think he's the editor of this newspaper. When I was coming here, I didn't give you a photograph. I think you went on Google and found out, or Facebook, and chose one of my photos.
So,
I mean, it's not. I'm the editor of this paper.
No, I'm just saying that he started wearing white.
But we all wear white.
No, but Charles, this is the IMF chief.
So when was
it means a very recent photo.
No, when
it means in his capacity as finance minister. So regardless of the timing, it's his capacity as finance minister that matters.
Ken wears white every day. And it depends on when this photo was taken. Was it when the
Charles, what is your problem this morning? I'm saying that the man has started wearing white.
But you can't just take one photograph, and he's not the editor of this newspaper.
Wearing white and meeting with IMF officials. I will discuss the content.
So would we say that he wore white on the day that he was going to sign the agreement?
Well, I'm yet to see that picture.
Exactly.
But the issue here is that from Charles's perspective, he does admit that wearing white is problematic. From the defense he's giving as a finance minister.
No, that's not what I've said.
Which is
Maybe
quite
I should reiterate. I said he actually juxtaposed that to Ken. And I said we know Ken wears white all the time.
Yeah.
Okay, and this is a mean.
And it terrible.
White on the day that she's meeting. That's
it doesn't change anything.
It doesn't change anything.
Okay, very well.
Actually, Ken wore white and did terrible. So that is why I'm worried that he started wearing white.
Let's see how.
So are you saying Malema wears a red beret and is not doing well, and so
Malema is doing well.
Malema is doing well.
Very well.
Unfortunately for him, he's doing very well.
You can join the conversation by sending your messages to our WhatsApp.
He's doing very well. Go and check the record.
I'm going to read them on the show.
Is he the president? Is he the president of?
No, he's not. But taking
he has never been.
And moving it 10 years.
That's what I think.
Over the weekend, one of the illustrious sons of the Upper West region, a nurse who grew up to become a lawyer. Later, he became a chief and the paramount chief of Gulu, succeeding his elder brother, President Hilal Liman, was given a final farewell home. Many mourners across the country and the globe stormed the Sesala East constituency to sympathize with the family and to give our chief a bit fitting farewell. I was there, as you know, when it comes to tradition.
Yeah.
excitingly, the vice president was there.
And Dr. Baumia was there.
Yeah, Dr. Baumia was there as well. And at a certain point, he even took to the dancing floor to do the traditional dance. As to whether he did it rightly or wrong, but it gingered the crowd. This was very beautiful. We want to sympathize or console the family of the Limans or the Liman family. In fact, the President Hila Liman's family were entirely there to see to it that their uncle, their husband, was sent home. I could count almost every person that matters in the Upper West region was there. All the chiefs were there in their numbers. And I just think that Upper West has lost one of his greatest chiefs who was well groomed in the customs and traditions of our region. And those who came from far to sympathize with the Upper West region, we thank them for the show.
Great. It looks beautiful. I love it. It's a sad moment, but I love the whole tradition.
Well, when you get to the upper limits and you pass on, we can only say fed you well.
Correct.
Because it is when the young ones die, because all of us will die anyway.
Yeah.
So death is an inevitability.
It is well. It is well. Let's start off.
Just that Sheriff was not there.
He never invited me.
How do I invite you to your own home?
Oh.
This is your home.
Sheriff, next time you go, don't worry.
This is your home.
My brother is always looking, instead of him looking after me, he's always looking for places to throw me under the bus.
All right, Charles, I'll start off with you with our very first story. The scheme for non-communicable diseases that will be rolled out by the NHIA. Why now?
Okay, thank you, and good morning to your listeners. I mean, if you say why now, are you saying that it should have actually been done at the inception?
Because the non-communicable diseases, as you know, has taken a lot of lives. I can count what diabetes has done to many other people.
Okay.
And we've been trying as much as possible to make sure that even the dialysis issue that actually came up, a lot of people are asking questions, we would have done this a long time ago.
Okay.
You understand? So why this point? Couldn't we have done it this, a long time ago?
Okay, so I believe in governance, we actually evolve. Okay, when the NHS started, I mean, at some point, we're told that, I mean, it was going to be difficult. We started from somewhere, and we're getting somewhere. Just like the United Kingdom, they have the NHIS. Okay, we have the NHIS here, and the UK has the NHS. It started from somewhere, and then they began to add on to it. That's their sense of governance. You grow. So, I mean, for me, where we've gotten to, I think it's time, because as a country, we're going forward, and I look at the statistics. I think WHO said, reported that about 41 million people died out of NCD.
Yeah.
And then in Ghana alone, I think 2016, I think it's a 47 or 94,000 people died. So then it informs that such decisions are looked into. And so for me, if whatever has happened, I mean, yes, sad people have died from it. But then let's go back and see when we had the cash and carry system. How many people else died between that, within that period? And then the NHS came in and then it saved some lives, and then we're going forward. So I think I wouldn't say it's the right time. I believe that the government is doing well, and it falls under the SDG.
Yeah.
So just like the United Nations good characteristics for good governance and all that, the 17 characteristics were good governance, rule of law, and all that. These are things that, as a country, we all adhere to. You understand? So within the SDG, we all have goals. And if this is one of them and we're meeting them, I believe that it shouldn't be so politicized. Because I looked at the records and I realized that things that the NDC were even agitating for were included in it. And that's good governance for me. That it doesn't have to be political party politics, where we believe that because this is the health and the lives of fellow Ghanaians. So I believe that it is the right time, I mean, subjectively. And I think that we should do more, and I commend the CEO of NHIS, because I think he's doing well. Coming from, I think he was, when COVID was here with us, he was given a role to play. He did well, he's learned on the job. He's a professional in that role. And so in future, if we get people like that to run in such organizations, then it's good. he lived in the United Kingdom for some time. I think he studied there. And so I think he's actually replicating what he has learnt. And I think it's a step in the right direction. So if you say, is it the right time, then I would ask that when we didn't have NHIS, what happened to people then? And then NHIS came in, and then now we've gotten to a point that NCDs being added to it. So it's good. I would, if it's political party politics, then I would ask if you had gone from a one-term premium, could we have covered that? No, because then it's where we are adding on, these are taxes, the taxpayers' money. Yeah. So we're paying taxes and therefore dialysis and all that, which is very difficult because people come to me asking for money to go to hospital and all that, and it has a telling effect on an individual if these things should happen. So I think as an organization, if it's taken, it has taken that decision, I think we all have to help the NHIS grow, and then eventually other diseases can be also added to it. Yeah.
Very well. Let me come to you.
Yeah. Right. I think Charles made a very important point by saying that we don't need to politicize this, but ended up politicizing it by making comparisons to one
cash and carry
systems. But you saw that, I mean, governance is a continuum.
It wasn't a fair.
No, it wasn't. Yeah, but governance is a continuum. If you look at the historic antecedents, or for that matter, the historic growth, right, policy formulation, right all the way to implementation and the take of the NHS, you'd see different political parties played an integral role, starting with the NDC government that brought this as far as the policy is concerned, which was even piloted at some point. We all know that, yeah, we do change in tandem with economic issues and the likes of that. But to just say that even one-term premium, which was proposed earlier on, it's not going to be effective at this is quite problematic. Based on what numbers? Right, because at the time, one-term premium, this was tied to the insurance system. So if insurance are having one-term premiums and we're having issues of insurance being met, why can't healthcare if you implement it right? So that comparison of the one-term premium to this in a political lens is not a very effective one, and I think it doesn't really help the discussion. But still, on this issue, which is very important, we all know how cancer issues of diabetes have become very endemic within our health system.
Even hypertension.
Yeah, even hypertension. People are on dialysis every day, right? So, but the fundamental question I ask is that, at this rate, can the health insurance shoulder all of this when it's even unable, based on what it has, its capacity financially? Look at how much government owes the health insurance scheme. You can see the numbers running into millions, if not billions. So if we move on to this trajectory, my concern here is this: healthcare is very essential and important, that we don't make it another slogan, just as we saw in the free SHS policy, where we now have to start looking out for monies and running track systems and the likes of that. If we rush and have that reflect in this, then we'll have a problem. So what it means is that we're going to have energy crisis, we're going to have educational crisis, and we're going to have health crisis. So what modalities have been put in place to shoulder this? Because mind you, it's very expensive adding non-communicable diseases. Yeah. You know, going for chemotherapy for cancer patients, it's very expensive. It's not cheap. Diabetes, not even the insulin, that just monitoring it, right? Having those that may have diabetes source and whatever.
Depending on what,
and the stage at which, and the type of diabetes, whether type 2 or whichever. It's also another burden in and of itself financially, right? Dialysis. So, and you live in a country where MRIs, I think we have just about 3 MRI scanners. Emergency services or accidents and emergencies, you can't count them, right? Because we have very few. So the few hospitals we even have, instead of equipping them, we're bringing Agenda 111, which again, we don't know what impact it's having as of now, when we ought to have strengthened the base. So I am saying, yes, we must add that, but it's about policy delivery and the confidence within which we can put into our healthcare. If we have all of this standing and we haven't put enough confidence as to for its end users, then we'll tend to have a problem.
But we're able to achieve that with the dialysis situation.
No, but are we able to can the current financials and capacity of the health insurance scheme shoulder dialysis? That's a fundamental question. I want that the government comes out or whoever runs it. Yeah, it's happening.
Yeah.
No, are people able to turn up and have dialysis on their health insurance? That's what we should ask. Is there evidence of that? It's not about this implementation. It's about the evidence of it, because the policy ought to be practical and reflect on the people or its end users. And that's all we need. So no one is saying it's a bad policy. We are not politicizing it. We are not trying to make it a partisan issue. But let's not make it another free SHS.
You see this, what is happening?
Well, the point is, the government owes the NHS. It's struggling financially.
But the government also has the capacity
to implement it. So can they meet that minimum? So now it's under a certain minimum level, right? Which the government owes you so much. So can the government fix that now and say, okay, we've fixed this and we are augmenting this. This money has been ring-fenced for that. Or this is going to be the conduit via wage payments. But, mind you, we are paying into, I don't even know what government is doing with that money. Right? It's also going into the consolidated fund. Does the National Health Insurance have to write to the finance minister for monies to be disbursed off to it? If that's what is happening, then in and of itself, that is problematic. Because when you buy a tin of milk or whatsoever, you're already paying for the NHS. So why is the money going somewhere else and the NHS is seeking, or the NHIS is seeking for allocation from the finance ministry? It ought to be ring-fenced and directed for the purposes ought to be used.
It's supposed to come directly from the fund?
Yes. So, but it does look like sometimes government runs broke and have to rely on some of these monies that were not meant to, which is the NHIS and the GET Fund and the likes of that. So now you find that they are saddled with so much. So in education and healthcare are very important issues. So I think it's about time we even test the law on some of these things, such that if a law is legislated or a levy is legislated and meant to go for the rightful social purpose, it ought not to be directed anywhere, but go directly to that account to be used for what it ought to be used for. But under this current system, it's quite problematic seeing this take off as smoothly and robust as it should be within any social setup.
They intend to actually start that in July. I mean, this month, basically.
Yeah.
So hopefully we're still going to be...
But then again, we shouldn't rush this.
It looks rushed?
Yeah, I'm not saying it looks rushed. We shouldn't rush it, right? Let's future-proof. Let's test it and see what happens with it, rather than just having a full-blown rollout of it. That will be problematic. But when we have test stages, then we can correct the wrongs. Policy, when it's implemented, it's not 100% or even 90%. Sometimes it can just be 30% right. But when we test it and we try to find whatever problems it is, then we tweak, we troubleshoot, and we fix it right, then we can have an effective policy. Mind you, the survival of any nation is anchored on two vital social or important issues, which are education and healthcare. So let's not play with these issues.
Very well. Bernard.
I'm sitting here as a farmer, and then I'm being told that food is not a survival issue, and that it's the education and health.
Look at my brother trying to be mischievous. But where do you get healthcare
I disagree completely.
Well, he likes to have fufu at the farm, so I can understand.
I disagree completely, because if belly no full, medicine no go work.
Your health is also important.
No, but even when you have to take medications, most of them...
No, what Bernard is missing is that food is part of healthcture.
Can I make this point?
Food is part of healthcare. That's what I'm saying.
See, my brother, you just finished your submission, and in our language, there is a story of the frog and the scorpion daring each other as to which one of them was more venomous. And so the frog said, when it bites the scorpion will not survive. And so they all agreed to bite each other 100 times. 100 in our language is core. So the scorpion laid for the frog to started yenti, i.e. up to core. Now it was the turn for the scorpion to also bite. But the scorpion said, no, using my teeth will be more deadly, so I'll use my tail to stink. Just on one stink, the frog forgot that you start from yenti and went all the way, started core. That is what he's doing here.
No, you see.
You spoke so much. I didn't say anything. That's my first word.
But your first words were attacking me, so I needed to.
And so you started shouting core. And yo.
Okay, carry on.
Food is very critical in every nation. And I insist that food is actually the crucible for the survival of democracy. Anytime there is food shortage, it means that the people are going to be hungry. A hungry people is an angry people, and an angry people is a violent people. no democracy can survive in the midst of violence. And therefore, you don't take the food issues kindly. So food is important, health is important, and education is important. So I agree that we should look at these things very critically. Now, on the subject matter, sorry. Good morning, Charles. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Khalid. On the subject matter, I am amazed sitting here to hear NDC and MPP take national health insurance as if they originated a thought of it. No. Let the records be straight. That in 1996, when we were bedeviled with huge cost, mismanagement, and difficulties at our hospitals, the government had no option than to listen to these same Bretton Woods institutions, the IMF and the World Bank. And they decided that instead of doing healthcare, which was largely free, they will now introduce cost into healthcare. And the IMF, the Bretton Woods institutions, decided to compel our government to do what they call a cash and carry for health. Our hospitals largely became graveyards because somebody was accidented, and when you got to the hospital, even OPD card, they wanted some money to be deposited before the card would be given to you. So you could not get consultation, let alone getting treatment. So the PNC, in our conference at the Patakasi in Kumasi, said that no, healthcare cannot be the lot of those who have money. Anybody can fall sick at any time and anywhere. Let's find a solution to it. And we proposed that we should institute a national health insurance that would take care. There is no doubt that after that proposal, the NDC started implementing or piloting that project around the Damango area. And later, it was passed into law by President Kufuor and nationalized it. So yes, this idea was not with you. We mooted it. You took it. We are happy that whilst we are not in government, what we said was capable of addressing a peculiar Ghanaian problem, today it is in place. Unfortunately, it is haphazardly implemented. Because the health insurance that we anticipated was going to reduce the level of expenditure leakage. The health insurance that we envisage was going to ensure that when you take your health insurance card, Charles, as soon as you get to a facility, it didn't matter your situation. As soon as they take your health insurance card, there's a microchip that will enable them access your basic health information and even your record. So anytime you go to any facility, it will be captured. And so the doctor ab initio will be able to ascertain your condition, what ought to be done and what not to be done. So you may not immediately even need some laboratory tests because they will know that, no, this is your condition, these medications will not be good for you, this is how they're supposed to manage you. You have failed to do so. Secondly, you appear at any facility today, appear at any facility with your health insurance card. The first thing they do is that you have a health insurance card. Yes, they enter the number in their records. When they finish everything that they have, they tell you that their medications are not there. They give you a prescription to go out to buy. Yet every time, the national health insurance is paying in excess of 50 million. So whilst the medications are not available for the patients, how is it that health insurance continue to pay? What it means is that I don't get to know what you have charged. You take my number, you go out there and charge me for the medications you did not deliver. And you go to health insurance and say, this person attended my facility, and this is the evidence of it. So what we insist is that every person that goes to a facility, and actually, you know this, when you go to a facility, and then you are treated, once they confirm that your card is active, the facility writes to you, the individual, and gives you your bill. It is your duty to send it to the health insurance that, look, I attended a facility, this amount of money was expended on me, these drugs and what have you, and therefore I ask that you pay. When the payment is done, you are also notified. How come that in our system, the man who gets treated does not get to know how much it costs for him to
So
be
this
treated?
was the original plan.
That is the plan. The processes. And these people will not even come and sit down and let's discuss. You people mooted this idea. What other ingredients will enable these things function?
They didn't have a blueprint of what you left behind.
Of course.
Or it was there.
Of course. Remember that when President Kufuor won the 2000 elections, his first point of call was to Edward Mahama and said that, look, you have been talking about health insurance, come and implement it. And he said that, no, Dr. Jadare is the one who is the brain behind this. So if you want somebody to implement it, I'll give you Dr. Jadare. How President Kufuor and Dr. Jadare's conversation did not go the way he wanted, and Dr. Jadare did not become the health minister. It's another cup of tea we'll discuss another time. Dr. Jadare is around. He will tell you much about his engagement with Kufuor. Now, to the subject issue. Charles, all the sicknesses that we go through could have been added at the inception of the National Health Insurance. So when you ask, should it have been added at the time of the inception? Yes, why not? I may not fall sick for malaria. I may not fall sick for stomach ache. I may not fall sick for diabetes or some other, but I could fall sick for another condition, but I've been paying health insurance. And because I have been paying my health insurance, when I am sick eventually of something different, then you say that it's not captured. So
you mean all the others should have been part?
Why not? We should find
that comes with cost.
Why? Let me give you. Current total active membership of the National Health Insurance is 17,600,000. Do you understand? 17.6 million active subscribers. On the minimum, each subscriber pays 24 Ghana cedis. And on the maximum, you pay 72. So Charles and Co have been paying 72. Now, if you take it that everybody pays a minimum of 24 times 17.6 million, you are getting 422,400,000 Ghana cedis. The National Health Insurance, this is how much money they receive from their active subscribers. But don't forget that the inflows into the National Health Insurance is not just the subscription. In fact, anytime any one of us procures any service, you pay National Health Insurance. When you are traveling and you buy a ticket, there is National Health Insurance. When you are buying fuel, there is National Health Insurance. When you are eating, there is National Health Insurance. And so the indirect
revenue
flow into the National Health Insurance is even huge than the active membership. The third other angle is that every SNIT contributor pays 2% into the National Health Insurance. So that is another flow. So if you look at these components, then it is even possible, not the Bawumia and MPP possible, it is even possible that we could actually do a one-term premium. Because whilst you do the one-term premium, there are other inflows that will come into the National Health Insurance. That is not one term, because when you go to eat, you don't eat once. Every time you eat, so you pay National Health Insurance. You go to buy fuel, you pay National Health Insurance. You go to buy anything that is vatable, that's VAT. You pay National Health Insurance. So it means that there is continuous flow into the National Health Insurance aside the premium that we have, or subscription that we have been doing. So if we decided really that wanted to do one-term premium and looking at the other sources of inflow, the National Health Insurance could still function because the inflows will continue. SNIT contributions will not stop because more workers will continue to be employed. The services that we enjoy from the restaurants will be there. So I think that the National Health Insurance should look at it. One of the things that I've noticed, that it appears that the National Health Insurance is gradually becoming a substitute to budgetary allocation to the Ministry of Health. So you see that infrastructure is being constructed by the National Health Insurance. You You get it? And if you subject it, that is why they will tell you that they don't have sufficient funds. But if it was just about maintaining the courtship of the members, when was the last time you went to hospital and used the health insurance?
I don't remember.
When was the last time Charles went? I don't remember, and I'm sure that you don't remember.
I don't remember.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Yet we have all contributed.
And continue to.
And we continue to contribute. So what we contribute, other people will be using.
Benefit.
Maybe one day, you also become infirm and you use it.
Yeah.
And when I become infirm, not on those that are listed, then I'm told that I cannot. I think that
That's a loss to you then.
yeah, that's a loss to me. So I think that it's important that we begin to look at all these angles, sit down, have a very comprehensive look at the national health insurance. It is good. It has come as a better option to the cash and carry
system.
And we can do more to improve it. That is my stand on this.
Great. Thank you. Charles, you want to
Yes.
do?
So I mean, he landed very well. You see, because that it was a good substitute for cash and carry. Where Prof disagreed with me, he said I was politicizing it, and I will still insist.
But I'm not sure Prof said that it wasn't a good thing.
Yeah. I didn't say it
He
wasn't.
said I was politicizing it.
Because you made a reference to
Yes.
the cash
And
and
then
But
when-
I think that was also a fair statement from him. Because of the reference you also made with regards to that.
Because I thought it was a continuum, and you would have actually recognized their part if you were not, and having a national discussion, you recognize the inceptional
There was a
role
part that was
the
played by
NDC
the
played,
NDC,
connecting
and then
it all
moved
the
on
way
to-
all to where we
Yes,
are
but
today.
the reference to the cash and carry,
But I
it felt like
concluded
it was-
by saying
But how
that
do you
even the
choose how the man
concerns,
wants to communicate?
you know,
I don't understand.
I concluded by saying even NDC's concerns was captured in this one, and he that because of politics we said 110 premium to win an elections, okay, and then it wasn't implemented. That was the emphasis I was trying to make. Now, my big brother here, President, said that I think he shifted the
He's
goalpost
nodding.
from.
He's recognizing
Is
that
it good
he has
now?
to do the need.
And that's why I'm saying he landed well by saying, coming out who brought the idea. You see, and you see the computation of how the NHIA should be. If you're saying that you're going to do every single person's calculation, then it's going to be difficult. Because I remember, and I used the NHS in the UK, where at a point each prescription was £6.50.
Okay.
So whether if it's paracetamol or whatever, because there's a threshold for everything. You understand? And I believe that's the computation that's used here universally. That's
You can't go beyond a certain...
Yes.
Okay.
So there's a catchment of if it's primary health care, then it's 10 cedis. So walking in encompasses everything because somebody can go there and spend 12 cedis. Somebody can go there and spend 8 cedis. So that, in the end, marries itself at the end of it all. What I want to say is that we are all running a nation. The SDG, Goal 3, right? So it's the well-being and all that. And we started from somewhere. We've gotten to somewhere. I would have thought that let's not talk about budgetary allocation and all that, because when the free SHS was coming in, we were told that it wasn't going to work. And it's a policy. And every policy, you will not get 100% on the one, would you? And so, no, you didn't. Prof said
The NDC said it. Is that what you meant to say?
But we didn't say so because we have believed in.
I've finished with you. I've dealt with yours.
So
I'm on
we're
the-
told it's reference to the NDC.
Okay,
No, relax.
let him
I've
finish
finished.
up.
I've dealt with yours. You landed well, so I'm not going to. So he said so many things and then landed
It means I
with a good.
didn't land well.
I like that well instead. So I become the
You
target.
concluded by saying it's a good thing. Let's delve into it. Let's make it work. The NHS is a good. NHIS is a good thing. But Prof was talking about budget, where the money is going to come from, and all that. You understand? And I'm saying that when the free SHS was going to be introduced, they were saying no. Let's actually build infrastructure and all that. And my question was that whose child should stay at home and whose child should go to school? Fast forward, we've got a lot of children educated. You understand? And then it is evolving. We're actually making it better.
I'll be with challenges.
And the
that,
quality
you know,
of
that's
yes,
in the face
the
of
quality
money.
of
But then education acquired, you understand? Whatever you've learnt would not be taken away from you. Let's actually, you understand?
But it's dangerous when it's not acquired well.
Oh, okay. So children
within a good environment.
So is that why the children passed so well that President Mahama said they were given a poor? You see, what I'm trying to say is that let's education has been acquired. I am sitting here, I've been educated.
Well.
He has been educated and all that. That's why we're here and we're able to research and actually come out with our points. I'm saying that when free SHS came, there were problems, you understand? But gradually we're evolving as a people, okay? And then SDG 3, as a nation, we're trying to get at it. And we're saying that we started without this NCD, non-communicable diseases, and today it has come. So my thing is that as Ghanaians, we need to look at the people who are going to implement it. Okay, I commended Abuajida Costa, but then there are technocrats who they work with, you understand? Are we all as a people going to make sure that works? Because I mentioned that people come to me asking for money, and it's having a telling effect on me. So if I sit here and say that, okay, it's all rosy and it's going to be so good, then I'll be lying to myself, because one way or the other, I'm going to pay some way, somehow, you understand? So what we need to be doing as Ghanaian, as a people, is that we need to actually ensure that this policy that has come out, because the NDC's concerns were also captured into it. So one nation, let's move forward and achieve the SDG goals. But the people, because I always talk about the discipline within our system. People wake up, they go to work, instead of being there at 8 o'clock, he's there at 9. And then they delay things and then people are dying. But now where we've gotten to, I'm saying that cash and carry, a lot of people died. I mentioned 94,000 people in 2016 that died in the NCD. Now, these 94,000 people, now that the NHIA has introduced that, yes, has introduced this, are we going to say that, yes, we're going to look at that number drops? That is what I'm looking at. So by next year, 2025, we come and say...
The statistics should be looking different.
That's the way to go.
Yeah, can I have a bit of right of reply here as well? Because the point is, the system...
Okay, so when you're done, then we'll move on to the next one.
Yeah, the system that both Charles and I, the UK system that both Charles and I might have benefited from. Charles would undoubtedly know that even with all of these permutations being made, people that are chronically ill are exempt, right? They have an exempt certificate to get medications for free, among other things. Also, no one within the UK, be it a permanent resident, be it a worker or whatsoever, continues to pay into the NHIS or the NHS via the purchase of food items in restaurants, a tin of milk, whatsoever, as we have here. So there's a vast difference. So
if you pay the initial, it doesn't have to affect any other thing.
But the point what I'm trying to say is that the allocations of whatever, even now, they are trying to, the government has been saddled with so much with the NHS that they are trying to recalibrate the formula and also, up this, the investments that come into it. Okay. Currently, as it stands now, my concern is that you can't have healthcare or an insurance without budgetary issues at the center of fulcrum. Because what is happening is, at this very stage, the NHS is not what it is. So if we are burdening it some more to be in a position to accommodate a lot.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, Prof.
Yeah,
Charles,
that's what
do we have enough to cushion this scheme that we're about to roll out?
Did we have enough to cushion the free SHS? So budget.
But I mean,
and that's why you've got a lot of problems that we're dealing with
track systems
and what have you.
No doubt about that.
Yes.
What I'm saying is, moving forward,
yes,
with what we want to do in the health sector,
yes,
do we have enough to cushion it, so that we say we're starting in July, by December we'll still have this?
There's nothing like enough in running the country. The NHS
that could be a fall.
No, but he's talking about the United Kingdom. Okay,
you raised it.
I raised it. Yes. So
I think it's quite different from what we operate here. I mean, no doubt about that.
The tax network, okay, is so wide. Everyone is captured within that. There's data. So as a country, Ghana, we are evolving. You see, the Ghana card that is coming in will come to solve this problem. As to how much taxes have been...
But this is a government that has burdened us with taxes than any other government in this country.
Can I finish? You see,
go on.
So you're asking about budget, and I'm saying that they have the data. The NHIS, the NHS in the UK never started from here. They started from somewhere and got to where they are. And then it has been replicated across the country. I think Ghana, we learned ours from Denmark, whatever it is. Okay, so now, where we are, the tax network in Ghana is not so ripe. So we have to find a way of being dynamic and making sure that there's money.
Support.
Okay, so if we come out and say that, and I remember during COVID, the president said that he would rather people live instead of, rather than, us owing money, you understand? Now, fast forward, COVID, only, how many people, about 12,000 people died, you understand? And where we are now as a nation, we're going forward. And I'm saying that we can juxtapose it to the UK and see where they were. and then actually try and then move forward. And I'm saying that it's a policy. I cannot say that there's so much money that can be actually thrown about, you understand? But these are lives of people. We started from somewhere, and today we're saying that we're going to include that into it. The budget comes in. If the budget comes, that's why we have ministries. Okay, so for infrastructure, road network, last year we did maybe 10,000 kilometers of road. Now we're going to decrease it to 8,000 and ensure that we put 20% into healthcare. That can be done by the finance ministry, and that's why we have policies for each ministry, you understand? So if the NHIS have come up with this, then surely there's something that's going to be done. But I'm not going to say that it's going to be all rosy, because we all have to come on board, because it can happen to your family member, it can happen to my family member. That's all I'm saying. So juxtaposing it to the UK, I gave you the threshold. At a point, a prescription was £6.50. But even if it's paracetamol, and you got to a point that you must ensure that you really need it before it is written for you. You understand? So there's a threshold for everything, but I'm saying that it is in tandem, or we are aiming at the SDG 3, and as a nation, we started from somewhere. This is where we are. So you and I have to ensure that it works. And I like the red flags that they're raising now. Yeah. It helps me, my government, to say, okay, this has been said. So I go back and speak to Adwajida Kosa and say that this was raised. Can we ensure that it is that is how we actually get the best out of people?
Well, I like that perspective.
So he also landed well.
We are landed well.
I'm sure that's going to come. But of course, the whole idea is to increase life expectancy of Ghanaians, according to Adwajida Kosa, and is the reason why we want to make sure.
Even but you see, if life expectancy, if this single item is just very minute, the increase of life expectancy.
It is, but its contribution can also be.
But when people wake up 4 a.m. to drop school kids, sit in traffic for 5 hours, sit in traffic 5 hours back, that's where the life expectancy is. What are we doing about that? The stress in and of itself. So, I mean, let's not bring shenanigans into this perspective of life expectancy.
So what about, you know, in the UK where you live, everything is done timelessly. People wake up at 4 a.m. and go to work. And also, I mean,
sit in stressful traffic.
Exactly, yes. So
they do that?
Yes.
So you were sitting in traffic in London.
Let me have your last thing and then we'll move on to our next topic.
That's why.
Yeah, you get people to talk to. You understand? In the UK, you might not even know your neighbor. You go to work, come back and watch TV. So that was more.
Okay. Then President, why did you remove? Because my backroom people are saying.
No, because I was talking.
Oh. Probably you didn't hear that.
President.
There are things that if you hear, they can become nuisance, so you ignore. Importantly, I think that we are dealing with a very important sector of our existence, and that has to do with our health. If you look at our healthcare system, generally, we've done a bit. We could have done far, far better. I say this on authority, that the leakages within the system is huge. And that if we are able to plug these leakages, I can tell you that the amount of money that will be available
I agree.
for health services, for many of the sicknesses that today we are claiming that we are adding on, we could have added them on easily.
Yeah.
The two of them, I don't know for whatever. They are UK people. Now, the UK people that they know that when you take your health insurance, in fact, they call it National Health Insurance. That's all. And it's largely like free healthcare that they enjoy. In our case, we have gone.
No, that's National Health Scheme.
In that case, they have gone round. In our case, so many lacunas that people are taking advantage of because we created them. Right? Give you an example. There is a doctor working at Kolebu, at a public hospital, but he has a private hospital. So he tells you that my patients at Kolebu, I will be there at 8 o'clock and I'll close at 1 o'clock. But if you need further attention,
come to the other side.
Come to my private clinic. We tolerate this. We have somebody who is a pharmacist working in a public institution, and also has a pharmacy outside of the public institution. So he goes to his place, tell you that public place, there is no this medication, but go to this particular pharmacy, you will get that medication. We cannot.
Yeah.
We cannot use our privileged position in public spaces to enhance our private growth.
I agree.
And these things must be looked at. If you want to do a comprehensive check of our system, these are the things you should audit. Not just come and say you have improved this. When you improve and I go to the hospital and I'm not giving the medication, but I have to go to a pharmacist to go and buy. When I go to the pharmacy, will they take my health insurance and give me the medication for free?
No.
Will they do so? They will not.
Yeah.
So at that place, I'll pay cash. So why are we pretending that National Health Insurance has come to take away cash and carry?
It's almost okay. I'm going to get a few messages from our viewers as well. Don't forget that News Flash is brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise. Phone Papa Pafie, and you need a phone, you need a television screens, you need CCTV cameras, you need some refrigerators. Please make sure you go to Franco Trading Enterprise. The best on the market we're giving you, and we want you to come there and experience it. I'll get some few messages, and then we'll move on to our next topic that we have this morning. That, of course, will be on the reassigned of the.
But before you go there,
Yeah.
why were your backroom people complaining that?
They haven't seen you without the cap before. So when you removed it, it gave them a different picture.
You want to say that
of
I
you.
don't have a head? You
Well,
must have a head.
Sammy and the rest, Sheila and the rest would have to
But
explain that.
I told you the reason.
Oh, no,
Let me start.
as for yours, I ignored it.
Charles, you have the reason.
I told you the reason.
Oh,
Because I
okay.
was speaking.
Charles
then.
was speaking.
Yes.
Was that the reason?
Charles's boss is President Akufo-Addo. I wear it before President Akufo-Addo. So
You are very lucky. He didn't ask you to take it off to shake his hands.
Oh, come on, bro. Honorable Akisme says that, good morning, KMJ. NHIA, we urge you to take immediate action to address the challenges facing the National Health Insurance Scheme under the current government. The scheme's ineffectiveness has left many Ghanaians without access to essential healthcare services. As you prepare to roll out a new scheme focusing on non-communicable diseases this July, we implore you to do the needful and ensure its success. We expect to see tangible improvements in the healthcare system, including increased access to quality care, reduced out-of-pocket expenses, and improved health outcomes. Regards to CEO of A&A Drinking Water, Master G.E. Insights. Okay, let me go to Francis. Okay, Francis sent in birthday wish. Cyril will do that for you. Now, this one over here says, Master Planner Junior Kintampo says that sickness doesn't know MPP, NDC, PNC, or any political color. This government has done a lot to our health sector. A huge investment in infrastructure development and fighting diseases. There are still more to be done, and it's only this government that can do it. Ghanaians should have hope in Dr. Bawumia and vote for him. Tell my senior brother Bernard Mona that it is possible, as he rightly said. Well, he still says that it was not the NDC, MPP Bawumia one though.
It's possible to have a one-time premium.
Yes, and not the other way. Regards to Honorable Isaac Bafo Amiya. Okay, thanks for sending that in. Let's go here and says, Mensa Majid is sending this one from Beche, Toronto. And it says, my regards to Honorable Charles Akwasi do incoming MP for Tano South constituency. Nothing is currently working under President Akufo-Addo and Dr. Bawumia. They are corrupt and super incompetent. We need to vote massively against them come December 7th. Now, what they know best is sloganeering. Their cap is full and the opposition is knocking at their doors. Food prices are unbearable and Ghanaians will vote based on their current condition. NHIS is not working again. Patients have been buying their own medications. NHIS has collapsed like NAPCO. 24-hour economy is a game changer. Let's vote massively for JDM come December 7th. Another one over here says that, KMJ, good morning. If arrogance is in power, the people suffer. If Nanado is bathing in the air and commanding chiefs to get up and greet him, then Napo will be a real definition arrogant when Ghanaians vote for them. Vote John Dramani Mahama, the humble man, to bring the 24-hour economy. Everyone will chop pepe peche. Okay, that's from Solomon. Zenu Martin Luther sent in that one. This one over here says that, good morning to you. The importance of entrepreneurship is Ghana cannot be overstated. In Ghana cannot be overstated, I beg your pardon. It is the key channel that can save the economy from its current challenges and pave the way for sustainable growth and development. By supporting and nurturing entrepreneurs, Ghana can unlock its full potential and create a brighter future for its citizens. Aaron Baba Kokomisa sent in that one as well. Let me get to this one over here. It says, good morning, my big brother. Anyone who wear white every day is... Okay. He can't be a criminal. Please.
Oh, it's a potential criminal.
The value is the same.
No, it's a potential. You know, Thomas Sankara said that a soldier without a political ideology is a potential criminal.
Okay. And it reflects on this. Yeah. Those saying John Mahama will cancel free SHS, we voted for him. It's all lies. Was it not Nanado in opposition praised Mahama for introducing the progressive free SHS for day students? So how can JM abolish something which is in the constitution? Or how can JM cancel a policy he started? It's the NPP strategy is no EMFA. Abladi Efie as Kumazongo in Takradi sent in that one. Let me go to this one. It says, good morning, KMJ. Lies plus arrogance is equal to disaster. But Olaya choosing Apo as his running mate is a disaster for NPP in coming elections. KMJ, mark my words today. NPP has made a very terrible mistake by allowing these two to pair. NPP will lose Poto. Diploma teachers who went to college with worse results are waiting patiently for 7 December. And that's from Mia Brown's Simon in Navrongo. Another one over here says that, good morning to all NDC members. NDC should not limit our campaigns to social media and streets, and we need to go down to the people's markets, farmers, beaches, and important places. The 2024 election is going to be Brazil versus Ghana finals match. The NPP thinks they know better than Ghanaians need to put them out of power seriously. I know Baumia will not get 30% votes in Ghana. Bochi Philip from Keta sent in that. The last one that we'll move on, it says, good morning, KMJ and your guests. So upon the crying of NAPCO trainees about the arrest, President Nanado and his VIP have not heard anything. Please, whoever is sitting there as a rep of the NPP should kindly inform Baumia to pay us our arrears by begging them. We're begging them. This is shameful and embarrassment. A listening government, and this is how we are going. This is what we are going through. I don't know what means we will do to get our money paid unless a serious demonstration like Kenya's youth dead. NAPCO trainees are suffering so much. Please, they should do the needful and pay us. Mr. Charles Biso is here. I'm sure he would extend that request to the quarters where it's supposed to go so they can address that. The NAPCO people, they